Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of TheWunderkindShow. Today's topic, ignorance is bliss. So, listen, I know everyone's pretty much heard of it, but we're covering it for today. We saw the back and forth of the tit for tat going with the aforementioned Cincinnati Bengals. So, of course, they asked, Joe Burrow, who is the guy to knock off the mountaintop, and he said, look, it's Pat. You know what I mean? MVP, Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP. He's at the top of the mountaintop, and one of us have to try to knock him off. That was the quarterback speaking with some semblance of common sense, right? But, of course, they go and ask his favorite target, Chase. And they go and they ask him, they say, who's the best, quarterback? Well, it was Burrow. Duh. So, they're like, well, your quarterback said Pat. He did? He said, yeah. He said Pat. And he goes, Pat who? Now, look, this is where I said ignorance is bliss. Because you have to have some semblance of common sense or integrity, right, to the game to understand why you would not say that about a two-time league MVP, a two-time Super Bowl winner, and a two-time Super Bowl MVP. You wouldn't, especially if they're coming off of the Super Bowl. And you have the audacity, the unmitigated ignorance to say, Pat, who? I addressed this, I believe, in 3 or 4 episodes before this one. And I specifically stated, I said, look, Lamar Jackson is my favorite player, but I have met number 2 in the league because I have to respect what Patrick Mahomes has been able to not only accomplish, but what he's been able to achieve. And I said, once Lamar gets the Super Bowl, because if Lamar wins the Super Bowl, most likely that year he would have won MVP, right? I'm just speaking, let's be real, right? So he would be a 2-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, and hopefully a Super Bowl MVP, right? That's when I would say, well, you're number 1 in my book, right? Because there's a lot of great quarterbacks only got 1, maybe 2. You know what I mean? Maybe 3, maybe 4. You know what I mean? Pat Mahomes has already lapped the rest of the pack. The only quarterback the only 2 quarterbacks that have even gotten an MVP over this time period has been Aaron Rodgers, who did it twice, to match his twice, and Lamar Jackson, who did it once. That's where it stops. That's the end. That's all. Yo, think about that. That's crazy. Yo, listen, and this man has, and this is why it's so wrong. Because it disrespects the achievements. Your team has never won a Super Bowl. You've been to, I believe, 2 Super Bowls, and you haven't won 1. How dare you think you could just speak on a newly minted champion as you have? And we're not talking about a champion that, they got hot at the right time, and, our team is still way better than them. They're not the best quarterback in the league. Pat was also the league MVP. And I believe he led the league in passing and touchdowns. Hey, yo. And you're going to say Pat who? 2-time Super Bowl winning Pat. That's who. Look, I just feel like it's so disingenuous for him even to. He could have literally said, look, Pat's a great player. We went up against him, so I already know enough times. I'll take my guy over anybody, though. But Pat's a Super Bowl winner. I mean, his stats and everything speak for itself. Look how easy what I said was. Everyone's saying, well, he should have said. oh, he doesn't have to, just defending his quarterback. His own quarterback wasn't foolish enough to say what he said. Because there has to be a level of respect. So you're telling me right now that if another player went and said something about his quarterback being way better than him, whatever, and let's say the Cincinnati Bengals, God forbid, won the championship, and Joe Burrow got the Super Bowl MVP and regular season MVP, would he stand for anybody speaking out of the side of their mouth? I bet you he would not. That's why it's a problem what he said. Chase should have been like, yo, man, at his next one, look, I didn't mean to disrespect him. I'm just picking my guy over anybody else, and that's just being real. We all know who Pat is, and Pat's been great. But saying Pat who? Like, who's that? Yeah, all right, whatever. Like, we're not talking about... We're not talking about like a Trent Dilfer who was along for the ride for a Super Bowl. We're not talking about... he won it. But let's be real. He wasn't one of even the top 3 or 4 most integral parts to be a part or the reason why we won the Super Bowl. You get where I'm coming from? So I just find it so just nauseating for him to come at it like that. Look, I already told you who my quarterbacks were, right? I told you who the quarterbacks were. And it just bothers me that he could see everything that this man's accomplished and poo-poo on it. It's that level of ignorance that bothers me, not just with some of the Bengal fans, but with other fans from other teams when it comes to Lamar. Because I want to say this. I want to make sure you say this. Patrick Mahomes is a 2-time Super Bowl winner, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, and a 2-time league MVP. And he's led the league in passing touchdowns twice, and he's led them in passing twice. Lamar's led him in passing touchdowns once, and he was the MVP once, okay? Outside of Aaron Rodgers, who out of the crew has done even close to that? Joe Burrow? No. Josh Allen? No. Justin Herbert? No. Lawrence? No. Who else? Carr? No. So it's like, bro, what are y'all doing? Tua? No. Mac Jones? No. We can keep going. Keep going. None of these young guys outside of Lamar has accomplished nothing in this league. They don't have no extra personal achievements in this league. They've had good years. That's it. They've never been considered the best player in football. Never. Aaron Rodgers has been that twice. Patrick Mahomes has been that twice. Lamar Jackson has been that once. And the crazy thing is, Lamar Jackson was on trajectory to do it 2 other seasons. Listen, that's why I started off the show saying ignorance is bliss. Because it's exactly that allows people to have foolish, unintegral conversations like that. And it's frustrating. Oh. It brings out the worst to me. I'm dead serious with you. Because it just doesn't make sense. It's not sensible. It's insensical. Bro, I'm dead serious with you, bro. Listen, I'm not even a Kansas City Chiefs guy. I respect Patrick Mahomes. I respected Andy Reid before he got there. I had high regards before. I wanted Andy Reid when he left Philly to become the head coach for the Ravens. I have nothing but high regard for Andy Reid. Nothing. And for everything they've achieved over there, for somebody to just be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. When you know deep down you're wishing that you even had half of what you know how painful it must be for Bengal fans right now, or even Bengal players, knowing that you talked all that talk to get beat, and the team that beat you went on to win the Super Bowl? I know it hurts. Say it with me. And you don't even have one. The Baltimore Ravens, as much as we've had trouble, we've had MVPs on this team, league MVPs on this team. we've had leading rushers on this team, defensive player of the years on this team. We got Super Bowls. We've had Super Bowl MVPs on this team. So we're coming from a historical standpoint of saying we've been there, done that. And even we show nothing but high regard and respect for Patrick Mahomes. How dare you turn up your nose? Hey, listen, man. Listen, and I'm going to be real with you. That's why, I don't even stand for people coming out sideways to Lamar. And Lamar hasn't even won a Super Bowl yet, and I don't even stand for anybody coming at him because he's a former MVP. You got a team that's never had an MVP on their squad talking like they the big kahuna on the block. Talking like they got multiple championship and hardware. Talking like they had someone that's led the league in passing or touchdowns before. You haven't had none of that. You've had good, solid years. The best you've ever done is come second. That's it. That's it. Have some humility. Humility. Y'all know y'all like that voice. Shoot. Listen, man, they lucky it wasn't Kelsey, because Kelsey probably would have seen it and been like, what you say about Pat? Oh, better stop it. Yo, let me stop for that. Let me stop for someone to be like, yo, he ain't gonna take that. He gonna take Kelsey slapping him. No. They grown men. No man's taking you slapping them in the face, bro. I'll tell you that right now. If you slap a grown man in the face, well, one of us gotta perish. If you open hand slap another man in the face, one of us has to take a trip to the hospital. Because, man, look at here. There's two things that men will never stand for, right? You might be able to talk on their mouth, all that stuff, and everyone understands. But if you spit on somebody or slap them, we're talking about man to man. If I spit on you or slap you in your face, hey, yo, the level of disrespect, yo. So I'm not telling them to go anywhere near that. I'm just speaking, you know what I'm saying, that way. No. We don't want no fights or anything like that. No. They're both amazing players, but no, he should have some respect. And if he's not, he should be able to be called out on it. But tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Am I tripping, or is Chase tripping for totally disregarding the excellence that has been Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? But let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong, all right? Down in the comment section, okay? But once again, that's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. You know how we get down, it's fun and laughs, but everything we talk about is rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. You know I read the comments. I love it. Just be respectful to other people's differing opinions. That's all I ask, and we'll have no problems. And if you would like to help this channel grow, to donate or become an Access member, you have two ways of doing that. You can donate to the Cash App, which you can find at the bottom of the screen, at the bottom for the QR code, or you can find it in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is #TheWunderkindShow. Or you can become a patron for the Patreon for The Wunderkind Show. And what that gives you is so much access behind the scenes, especially during the year. There's going to be sweepstakes for free merch. There's going to be fantasy football league. It just gives you so much, and you can contact me directly. So it's just more adept access. So if you want that, that's how you do it, all right? But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This show is not just signing off, and as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yep.